I am so proud of each of you. You guys did so good. My name's Holly Cram, and I wrote my talk today because I didn't think I could get through it without reading it, so bear with me. I'm going to just try to fill my message while I read it. I am so proud to be Mark Cram's wife and Beckham's bonus mom. When I married Mark 9 years ago, Beckham was 4 years old. He was then the youngest of our blended family and the only one not in school. I remember 3 weeks after our wedding, when all the older kids left to school, Beckham and I just looked at each other. We were like, what? Like, what now? I'd just been handed this little human to take care of. He fast became my little buddy. He went with me everywhere on my errands all day, always with 2 or 3 action figures gripped in his little fingers. He was so much like his daddy, and I loved being able to hang with a mini version of my husband. Now, it wouldn't be right to talk about Beckham's life without including a little bathroom humor. If you knew Beckham closely, you knew that the kid produced more gas in his little body than our whole family combined. It was probably because his diet consisted of mostly graham crackers dipped in milk, chocolate granola bars, and popsicles. So please excuse the potty humor while I share a few memories about Beckham. When it was time for Beckham to go to kindergarten, I was told he had to be able to wipe his own bum on the potty. So I brought him and my son Crew into the kitchen, and we set up a bum wiping training station. I gave each of them a paper plate. I smeared a glob of peanut butter on each plate, and then I had them practice folding the right amount of toilet paper and wiping it off the plate. It worked, but to this day, Beckham hates peanut butter, and I have a feeling I'm to blame for that. But he did make it to kindergarten. And throughout his school years, Beckham and his teachers had complicated relationships. They loved him, and they wanted to wring his neck. I would get emails almost every year that would read something like this. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Cram, we love Beckham. He's such a fun kid, ... but I'm basically losing my mind. So I wanted to share a few excerpts I pulled from some of his teachers' emails that I found over the years. This one's from Miss Bunker. Beckham is a really smart child and catches on to new things quickly once we get him to focus. When it comes to playing during PE, Beckham is all boy and he plays hard. That's not a bad thing, I love it. But sometimes he gets so involved he isn't aware of the others around him. He has made 3 boys cry this week. Not on purpose, but it's something to mention. But he is getting better at following directions faster every week. She sent me weekly reports on his progress. Another teacher asked if Beckham had IBS because of the amount of gas he passed in class. Another was from Miss Cicluna. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Cram, unfortunately, I've had a problem with Beckham joking about inappropriate topics in class. Last week, I caught him drawing a penis on his whiteboard. And this last one, with Mr. Rugner's permission, I'll share the most recent email we received this year. He says, I want to start off by saying how much I love and appreciate Beckham. And I love how good he is at making friends. Then he goes on to tell about how Beckham has been making it hard for him to teach a lesson in class. And he gives examples why. He's been using the bathroom 5+ times a day, which normally I wouldn't care, but I think he's just bored. He throws things during the lessons. He farts in the hallways with his head still in the classroom and generally gets out of his seat for any reason. Then he goes on to tell of the things he's tried to do to help the situation. He said, I would send him to the hall to reset, but I found that he wanders the halls and talks to other students. And then I tried sending him to other classrooms to get his work done. That doesn't seem to work either. Today I had to send him to the office after asking him 5 consecutive times to stop doing what he was doing, which was he was cutting pieces of classroom erasers to use as earrings and talking to his friends. Mr. Rugner, we love you. We see you. Thank you for your persistent efforts to love and teach our child. Beckham was all party all the time. He left this earth like Peter Pan, never wanting to grow up and heading for Neverland. He left before the world could try to teach him to just put his head down, do the work, and get the paycheck. Joy was his job. My own relationship with Beckham as he grew up was like his teachers. It was complicated. As a step-parent and mother role, I was always so focused on teaching him to do the right thing. I nagged him to pick up his shoes that were in every room of the house. I think at one time I counted he had 23 pairs of shoes at my house, and he was still eyeing mine every day. We wore the same size shoes, so when I would come home with a cool new pair of Jordans, he would begin to count how many times I would wear them, and then report back to me every few weeks about how few times I did and how he should just have them. I've got yours on now, Betty. I got mad at Beckham when he would wrestle or tease his little brother Cash a little too hard, or when he would get in a fight with him about who touched the fort they built last and who had to put it away. I'd scold him when he took my last chocolate protein shake in the fridge and not replace it with a new one. And I'd grind my teeth when he would never sit at the table because he wanted to eat his dinner with one hand dribbling a basketball around the kitchen. And because of these things, my grief looks different from Mark's. I sit in a pool of regret that I didn't spend more time playing and less time correcting. If I can give any advice to you parents here today from this tragedy, is to stop sweating the small stuff with your kids and start soaking up the moments with them. Put down the vacuum and play the card game. Close out the emails and go throw the football. Your dishes can wait. Moms, your hair can get wet. Jump in with them. Make joy the most important job that you have as parents, because your joy is the medicine for your children, for your friends, and for your life. Beckham knew this. The greatest gift I was given last Sunday was the honor of being the one there to fight for his life. God gave me the opportunity to show Beckham how much I truly loved him by allowing me to be the one to find him and fight for that breath that never came. That we're all still waiting for. Every night we go to bed, and every morning we wake up. My life will forever be changed by this tragedy, but for the good. Because of Beckham, I will make joy my job. The last thing I wanted to leave with you was something that my new buddy, Ryan Olson, taught me this week. As I was sitting on the bench at the cemetery where we will be burying Beckham, I heard an ambulance siren in the distance, and my whole body reacted. As you know, our family is no stranger to ambulances at our home, and this was not the first time I'd had to call 911 just this month for a child. The sound of it made my heart drop, and I grieved for the family that this ambulance was headed for. But as I did, I heard a voice in my mind that said, "Don't be sad for them, be glad. The angels in heaven rejoice every time they hear that sound." Because it's the sound of someone's life about to dramatically change. It's the sound of God giving them the opportunity to choose into life and grow. We hope that this tragedy does just that for everyone here today. Be like Beck and make joy your job. Thank you, and we love you.